Now, what you're going to consistently find is that women will crush men who display intent, love, admiration, and respect for them. Now, there's going to be quite a few reasons why this is, but what I'm going to be showing you in today's video is how you can actually take this information, use it to your advantage, and then start to gain the leverage psychologically in your dating interactions and in your relationships with women. This is going to be a full comprehensive guide and breakdown how to ensure that you can gain the attraction of the women that you want without showing your intent that causes her to lose desire and respect for you. Now, all of you are going to be extremely happy because I also put together a little gift for you. The gift is down below in the description, and you can be sure to check that out after this video is over. I'm very certain that you're going to be extremely excited for what I made for you. Okay, so today I am going to be showing you some inside secrets that I would say majority of men are not aware of. And keep in mind, to figure this out took me years, okay, of multiple dating interactions, relationships. This is going to help shortcut that process for you to save you a lot of time and get you results a lot quicker. So these are the reasons why women hate the men who show intent towards them when they're dating, okay? They don't like this, and I'm going to explain why. In a woman's brain, or how women operate, what you have to know when you're approaching or when you're having your interactions, okay, all forms of seduction when first meeting a woman must be indirect to signal pre-selection. So what is pre-selection? That's showing that either other women are already interested in you or women potentially are going to be interested in you. How do you do this if you're not a famous celebrity, a famous musician, a Hollywood actor, a guy with millions and millions of Instagram followers and girls constantly talking to you or direct messaging you? How do you do this? You do this through vocal tone. You do this through subcommunication. You do this through words. That's going to be your biggest strength that you can leverage, okay? Like outside of the physical qualities such as like looks, money, status, right? How you dress, right? Your physique, things like that, the overall improvement. The next layer for deeper communication to show that you are selected is going to be through what you say, the words coming out of your mouth, and vocal tone, okay? So here's what you have to know. All forms of seduction when first meeting a woman must be indirect to signal pre-selection. That means any direct intent, hey, I like you. Hey, I think you're so cute. I want to take you out on a date. Hey, you're so gorgeous. Oh my gosh, I've had a crush on you for the past 2 months. Will you please go out with me? Any direct intent potentially shows her he's low value, is going to signal potential clinginess, right? He's clingy, he needs her approval, he needs her, and it's going to signal that he has zero options. Now, this also goes a step deeper, but we're going to get to this in a second. Now, here's all of the ways that men show intent that backfires. The first is through an emotional or a needy tone. What's a needy tone? A needy tone would signal any sort of like passiveness in your voice, in your vocal communication, any hesitancy, okay? That neediness, they're going to pick up on that. That passive tone, they're going to signal, that's going to signal to the woman, hey, he has not done this a whole lot. He doesn't have a lot of options. He doesn't have a lot of experience. He's probably lacking confidence. He lacks the internal personality strength that turns a woman on. She's going to disregard him, okay? So emotional or a needy tone. Another thing is communication consistency. If you're text messaging back all the time within 45 minutes, if you're constantly returning the phone calls promptly, right? There's never, any days or any weeks that you're more distant or you're taking time off. This is also going to subconsciously show her intent. This is going to turn her off. Another thing is expressing love or admiration for her beauty. When you express love or admiration for a woman's beauty, this shows he's won over easily. He doesn't really have a standard outside of physical attraction, and he is sold on who I am as an individual just through how I look. This is going to signal massive low value. This is why majority of all of the most attractive women are all single. They're all single because the only qualification standard that a man looks at is how she looks, okay? This is polar opposite to how women judge attraction. When women are judging attraction, or when women are looking at the attractiveness of a man, they're looking at everything. They're looking at him as an individual, him as a whole. So they're looking at personality. They're looking at how you talk. They're looking at how your voice sounds. They're looking at what shirt did you pick that day? What shoes did you pick that day? All of those things make up a woman's desire level for a man. They look at the whole individual. So what's going to happen is they naturally, like, since they don't know the exact lens that you see life through, just like you don't know the lens that she sees life through, when women see that all men are like looking at, or the only qualification standards that he has is beauty, this turns her off. Okay? So she sees you're won over easy. Expressing love or admiration for her beauty is one of the fastest ways to like turn a woman off or lose her. Now, here's where guys go wrong. They go wrong because their logical brain takes over. When your logical brain takes over as a guy, you become direct. It's like you solve your problems in life like a math equation. Okay, you're like 1 + 1 is 2. That's not how a woman's brain works. So guys will tell themselves, you know, I'm going to just go into this interaction and I'm going to be bold. You know, I'm going to show a lot of action and be courageous. Okay? And when you do that, when you show all your cards, when you lay it all out on the table that you want the woman and you want to take her out, if she's extremely attracted to you, it might work, but what you have to know is it is not the best method, and it's not it's being direct is not going to be your best option because it's too much too soon, and it shows her that you're sold on beauty. You are sold on her beauty. This is not necessarily good. You may be able to attract some of the women if they have high attraction towards you, but what I'm going to tell you is you're going to leave a lot of options. You're going to let go of a lot of options. There's going to be a lot of women that you could have taken out or that you could have potentially gotten to know that you lost for coming on too strong or demonstrating too much too soon. So an advanced way that I could demonstrate this, the only way that a guy can really get away with being bold and being direct is if you have the vocal tone or the communication level of the I don't give a fuck mentality. If you say what you want and you're direct with it, but she also can tell through your vocal tone that you don't really care if you get the number or not, or you don't really care if that date goes anywhere, or you're a guy who just speaks his mind, yeah, that might be a way that you can get away with this. But very few men are able to do this because they don't have the internal skills yet, or they haven't developed the charisma or the seduction to know how to get away with that. So there's certain things that you can do at certain levels. When you first start approaching women, or when you first start going out with women, or when you first start dating, and this is true for guys at any age, okay? When you want to maximize your dating life, all forms of seduction when first meeting a woman must be indirect to signal pre-selection. Now, here's how the game works with the dating dynamics. I laid this out for you as easy to understand as humanly possible. This is the entire dynamic in a nutshell. When I say this is the game, okay, I'm not talking about front end game and back end game like I have in the past. This is the game as far as the dating dynamics. Here's what has to happen. Masculine communication overall, like if you have a friend named Frank or a friend named John, masculine communication is overt and direct. That means, hey, do you want to go out and get drinks Tuesday? Yes, sure, period, send. Okay, that's overt and that's direct. This is masculine communication. The reason why I'm telling you that all forms of seduction when meeting a woman must be indirect is because to attract a woman, okay, to attract a girl, you have to dabble in the language of the feminine. So this is all of the terms that guys use to demonstrate if a guy has good seductive skills or not. You're going to hear things like wheels. He's got wheels. You're going to hear riz, okay? Like, you're also going to hear game, okay? So game, riz, wheels. What that encompasses is swag overall, personality, conviction, okay? This makes up your front end game. But what you have to understand about your front end game is that it's covert and it's indirect. If you can do this, congratulations. You've now attracted the girl. And she's going to say, hey, he has me in a playful state. I'm having fun with him. He makes me laugh. Everything he said, you're going to notice when a girl is hot for you, it's like everything that you say, she just laughs at. It may or may not even be funny. If it's not funny and she still laughs, you're going to notice like your personality and your vocal tone is starting to have influence over her emotions. This is a good sign. This is how you close more dates. So this is important to understand, because men who are not able to do this lose a lot of women, and they also lose the women specifically that they wanted to take out, but they were never able to get that date. So this helps you, okay? In the beginning, you dabble in the language of the feminine. That means you're covert and you're indirect, right? The things that you're saying when you're doing things like teasing her, or you're playing games, or you're having fun, or it's like you're delivering like specific lines and jokes, and you're the leader of the social interaction that's getting a positive reaction out of everybody, attraction goes up. If you can do this, congrats. You've now attracted the girl. Now, the biggest emphasis I want to put here is you're going to notice there's a layer of work. Okay, so you're gonna notice if you go out to a bar or you go to a house party or something and you won her over, meaning she's like, hey, let's switch numbers, or you're so funny, can I get your number? Or you say, let's switch numbers, and she says yes with excitement, you smile on the inside because you know everything you had to do personality-wise, right, with your personal skills to get there. Now, let me explain this. You've attracted the girl, maybe you guys have slept together, maybe you haven't. Regardless, maybe you guys are seeing each other, okay? Feminine communication is polar opposite from masculine communication, okay? Feminine communication is covert and indirect. So masculine communication is overt and direct. Notice the polarity. Notice the duality. Notice the differences. This is important to comprehend, and here's why. The woman is sitting there wondering, how do I keep this man that I want, okay? She's sitting there wondering, how do I keep this man that I want? Now notice this, to keep the guy, she now has to dabble in the language of the masculine. Just like you had to dabble in the language of the feminine, okay? And what I mean by that is you had to use your game, you had to use your sex appeal, your seduction, to get her in a state where she looks at you and goes, I really like him. She now has to dabble in the communication of the masculine. So she has to switch over. Just like you had to switch over in the beginning, you had to work for it. She now has to work for it. She has to switch over to the language of the masculine, and she has to say, hey, will you be my boyfriend? Is this going anywhere? I really would like you to be my man. Do you see a future with me? I would like this. When she starts becoming direct like that, that is the equivalent to you in the beginning having to use game and seduction to win her over. She's now demonstrating the feminine qualities in herself, okay, to understand the awareness that now it's her turn, okay, to win you over or to potentially get a relationship out of you. I hope I explained that well, but you understand what I'm saying. It's polar opposite. Now, she switches over to that sort of direct communication. Will you be my boyfriend? What you have to know is this is why if a man brings up a relationship first, she gets turned off, because now she had nothing to work for. She had nothing to work for with that guy. See, when you communicated in the beginning to attract that woman in a way that is indirect and in a way that is covert to demonstrate pre-selection and seduction, what's happened is you had to work for it. So when you get that number, you walk away and you're like, damn, look at me. Like this was solid. Like, look at the dynamic and the chemistry. That's how she wants to feel too. So when the man brings this up first, it demonstrates low value. This is why the woman has to bring up the relationship, okay? Because her entire idea of fantasy or love is, how do I keep the man that I want? And she wants to feel like she had to put some effort in outside of beauty to win you over. This is what she wants to feel. Most men are sold on beauty alone. Even if you are one of the guys who is sold on beauty alone, a lot of us are. Most men look at physical qualities as very important. You have to start to train yourself not to be, because that's going to help you win over the women that you really want. You have to be able to look at a beautiful woman and say, like, you know, some of her attitude or some of her behavior just doesn't align well with me. I'm going to go on to the next one, because that's what women do. So this is how women oftentimes gain the leverage over men, is they have deeper level qualification standards. As soon as you as a man tell yourself it's your job to have standards too, the leverage starts to become reversed, and you're going to notice that a lot of these methods now work in your favor. So let's take this a step further, okay? Women want to have to figure you out. Say this again. Women want to have to figure you out. This means they want a mystery. You need to think it. Every single time you go into a dating interaction with a woman, I want you to think, if I had to maintain this girl's interest level for 10 years, and I know that's a long time, but just use this as an analogy. If I had to operate on a 10-year time horizon, how slow would I uncover myself page by page? A saying that I've used in the past is, the hotter the flame, the shorter the burn. Say that with me. The hotter the flame, the shorter the burn. You're going to notice the hotter the flame, meaning in the beginning, it seems like the chemistry is amazing and everything's organic and it's happening. You're going to notice that those are the interactions that fizzle out the fastest. Okay? These are the interactions that fizzle out the fastest. So when I'm sitting here telling you women want to have to figure you out, what does that mean? That means women move dating interactions and women move the relationships at a slower pace than men. What that means is they are naturally not urgent. They move at their own pace. They move at their own time. Now, the reason why they're naturally not urgent is because they are oftentimes more passive. They're more indirect. So if you're wanting to maintain the mystery in a relationship, what are the keys to this? What is all of the keys to keeping your mystery? The first thing that you got to understand is that patience, being a patient individual, is your friend, which means you need to extend the time delays. All of the time delays, I don't care if it's communication, phone calls, text messages, replies, responses. Men oftentimes operate hour for hour or day by day. You need to stop doing this, okay? So instead of operating on hours or operating on days, you now need to operate your time horizon on weeks and months. This is how you maintain a woman's interest. This is how women fall in love. There's that extended time horizon of them needing to figure you out. Okay? So you need to turn off your male-driven logical brain of being urgent and getting stuff done quickly. A lot of guys do that, right? If there's a problem, they solve it. Women don't operate like that. You need to let this move at her pace because women want that time horizon stretched out. So what you need to do in order to shift your mindset from hours and days to weeks and months is, the first thing is you need to occupy yourself with work and goals. A woman wants to see that you're on your purpose and on your passions anyway. She wants to see that you're building something, okay? That means this signals pre-selection. When you're not focusing on her, she wonders a couple things. She wonders, am I not important enough? Does he have other things going on besides me? Is he seeing a different girl, right? Is he doing something in his personal life? All of this triggers attraction because she's now not the focus. She wants a world she can come into. Patience is one of the biggest tools you can use to increase seduction in order to be indirect. When you move slow and you're patient, this heightens seduction. This makes it easier for you to be a seductive individual. This makes it easier for you to be a guy who can get the dates and get the relationships that he wants. And on top of that, this is going to make it easier for her to look at you as a man that she wants to respect and that she adores. It's like you understand the communication differences. This is moving at her pace, and what will happen is she'll naturally start to fall in love with you. So when it comes to intent and showing desire towards a woman, intent is the opposite of indifference. Say that with me. Intent is the opposite of indifference. Everything with women comes down to safety and security. When you show intent to a woman, this shows he's emotionally invested in me. Emotions are his main focus. This relationship is his main focus. Look at the intent he's putting towards this. That means if he's putting energy and emphasis towards this, he's not putting energy and emphasis in all of the things that triggers safety and security, such as survival, such as building something, such as safety, right? Such as like going somewhere in life. And this turns her off. It all comes down to safety and security. So safety and security is only achieved through polarity, masculine to feminine polarity, okay? Intent is the opposite of indifference. It's masculine indifference coupled with feminine intent. So what that means is masculine indifference is going to be the way that you're operating. That means it's strong. The individual, the man is stable. He's non-reactive. He's emotionally resilient, okay? And on top of that, Now you couple that with her feminine intent. Masculine indifference on your side coupled with her feminine intent. Feminine intent would be the care, the emotional support, right? The nurturing, the love, all of the good things that you're desiring out of a woman. When men show intent, they've now entered their feminine energy. And this is why it turns her off. Intent is the opposite of indifference. When you operate out of masculine indifference, it demonstrates that you're strong, stable, non-reactive, and emotionally resilient. Now she wants to bring the feminine intent of emotion, love, and care to that relationship or to that dating interaction. This is almost like the science of it. I'm going to tell you this too. If you understand this, I want you to understand like how high level this type of information is. You're going to be able to really stand out in your dating life if you understand this stuff. And I'm not just saying that, I really mean that. You're going to be able to really be a captivating man. You're going to be able to get the girls that you want, and you're even going to be able to, like, you will now look like that guy. And it's like when she views you as that guy and you're demonstrating the things that women look for, you got to understand that majority of you're going to be operating out of abundance. You know, there's going to be women who are wanting to enter your life or to talk to you. This is very good stuff to understand, okay? So if you like this video, hit the like button, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.